Poetry of the 30s, A New Voice Emerges, 1925 to 1935. This presentation explores the influential group of young poets who shaped literary history in the late 1920s and early 1930s. We will delve into their distinct style, cultural values, and their impact on the literary landscape. The Auden Group, shaping a literary era. During the late 20s and early 30s, a group of young poets emerged, leaving a distinct pattern on literary history. W. H. Auden was the key figure, drawing influence from Thomas Hardy, Edward Thomas, Wilfred Owen, and T. S. Eliot. However, Auden's influence surpassed Eliot's on his Oxford contemporaries, Stephen Spender, Cecil Day Lewis, and Louis MacNeice. Auden earned their admiration through his epigrammatic crispness, conversational manner, and skillful control of phrase and metre. These poets embraced the Marxist condemnation of social injustice, reflecting a shared judgment on societal issues. Although they continued writing beyond the 30s, their work from this decade defined a unique style and set of literary and cultural values. Social commitment and poetic principles. George Orwell, in Inside the Whale, described the shift in poetry after Eliot's era as moving out of the twilight of the gods into a sort of Boy Scout atmosphere of bare knees and community singing. This Boy Scout image aptly characterizes the group's core principle, social commitment. They believed intellectuals had a responsibility to society, rejecting the inward-looking focus of modernist poetry. They also discarded Eliot's notion that great poetry must be difficult, instead advocating for comprehensible and effective verse. While priding themselves on understatement and older poetic techniques, their inclination towards documentary realism and detached urban descriptions also made them inheritors of the modern tradition. W. H. Auden, the preeminent voice. Despite strong views on poetry's role, 30s poets avoided pontification. Auden famously insisted poetry is a game of knowledge, with rules to be observed, but certainly not trivial. His poems often explored the quest theme through historical and personal allegories, marked by irony and humour rather than rhetoric or gloom. Auden never fully embraced Marxism, yet he recognized the need for revolution and regeneration in an age plagued by social deprivations. His early works, like the prologue to the Orators, The Wanderer, and Our Hunting Fathers, suggest a need for further human evolution, advocating for individual goodwill to counter evil conduct. Stephen Spender, Hope and Social Sympathy. Like Auden, Stephen Spender briefly engaged with communism and supported the loyalist cause in Spain. After disillusionment, he turned to poetry for solace, yet his verse continued to express profound social sympathy for radical and liberal causes. His 1933 volume, Poems, reflects an awareness of the era's failed enterprises. Spender, however, viewed technological development as a positive sign. This hopeful mood is captured in The Pylons, which observes the changing modern landscape and the life of day-to-day living. The poem, while acknowledging what is lost, presents a forward-looking vision of growing cities and towering buildings. Spender's verse delves into the uncertain areas of human experience, valuing sensitive awareness over certitude. Cecil Day Lewis, Industrial Imagery and Precision. According to Spender's World Within World, 1951, Cecil Day Lewis was a traditionalist who invigorated Georgian forms with imagery of factories and slums. His communist preoccupation with the industrial world is more evident in his imagery than his Georgian sympathies, particularly in You That Love England. You shall be leaders when 0 hour is signalled wielders of power and welders of a new world. His volumes, From Feathers to Iron, 1931, and The Magnetic Mountain extensively use modern industrial imagery, track-laying, rock blasting, forging, and welding. Day-Lewis demonstrated mastery of stanza, line, and vocabulary, coupled with remarkable compression. He achieved precision without sacrificing feeling, fulfilling his aim to eliminate disorder and stamp in all that life the trigonal, pure symmetry of the brain. Louis MacNeice, Irony and Philosophical Depth. Unlike other members of the Auden group, Louis MacNeice avoided simplifying the human condition into a left versus right struggle. His philosophical depth offered a refreshing contrast to the naivete of Spender and Day-Lewis. Irony and wry mockery characterize his poems, with a spontaneously humorous, often rueful tone contemplating the dislocations of a tired civilization, as seen in An Eclogue for Christmas. The jaded calendar revolves, its nuts need oil, carbon chokes the valves. His rollicking balladry in Bagpipe Music combines private concerns with public issues. It's no go the yogi man, it's no go Blavatsky. All we want is a bank balance and a bit of skirt in a taxi.
Autumn Journal also somberly reflects on the age's problems. While sharing the group's focus on a fallen world, MacNeice's poetry registers the temper of the times with greater subtlety. Key takeaways: the enduring legacy of 30s poetry. Socially engaged. A rejection of modernist introspection in favor of social commitment and addressing societal injustices. Accessible and direct. A belief that poetry should be comprehensible and effective, not necessarily difficult. Modern yet traditional. Incorporated documentary realism and urban imagery while often employing older poetic techniques. Diverse voices. From Auden's allegorical quests to MacNeice's philosophical irony, the group showcased varied approaches within a shared ethos. The poets of the 30s left an indelible mark on literary history, offering a powerful blend of social commentary, innovative style, and enduring artistic merit.